Yo, what's going on? It's Joe back here again with another one here on Joe Talks. And yeah, this has been a bad week for your boy. But first, let me start off by saying a like and subscribe would be appreciated, especially with me being kind of a newer channel, a small channel, whatever you want to call it. A like and subscribe is always appreciated. But anyways, this is a vid I thought I wouldn't have to make. Man, this has just been a tough weekend. The Lions lost last night. Michigan lost Saturday night. And the Detroit Tigers got knocked out of the playoffs Friday night in a 15-inning, just crazy game. Crazy long game. That game went on to like 1, 2 in the morning, I think. But, yeah. Lions, man. Detroit Lions, man. So I'll say this. And this is normally never the issue. You know, the Lions have this side of the ball down, and that's their offense. The offense did what they could. The offense did what they could last night against the Kansas City Chiefs. It's always their defense. And I find it funny how every year they have a problem covering and they just never address it. And I'll say this, last year they had good guys. It's just the scheme that they're running. So for those of y'all that don't know, Aaron Glenn left. Honestly, me personally, I never liked Aaron Glenn. I thought he was overhyped. I hated the defensive schemes he ran. Literally, the only schemes he run are zone, and then he just relied on Aiden Hutchinson to get to the quarterback. That's literally what his defense was. All he plays is zone. And the issue with zone is, just look at last night. And yes, they had injuries, but injuries or not, guys are always just wide open down the field. And that's what happens when all you do is play zone. And yes, Aaron Glenn isn't there anymore, but they upgraded Shepard, I think his name is, an Aaron Glenn puppet. So it's the same defensive scheme. I don't know why the Lions didn't try to go out and get Salah or someone like that. I don't get it, and the defense is always a problem. The offense was firing on all cylinders last night. I'll say that. But the defense, terrible, man. Guys wide open, giving up big plays. It's the same shit every year, with the secondary. And I'll say this, man, this year or this offseason, whatever you want to call it, they need a new defensive coach with a whole new different scheme. Honestly, I'll be surprised if the Cleveland Browns don't clean house next year. Go and pick up Jim Schwartz as your defensive coordinator. Look at his defense. And then for those of y'all that know Jim Schwartz, most of the time, or if not all the time, he's running man coverage. That's the best coverage in my opinion, as long as you have corners that can do it. Look at Reed that the Lions just got. Yes, he was hurt, but he hasn't been playing good. Reed isn't a zone guy. Reed is a man-to-man guy. Say you just watched the previous games that he played in, he wasn't playing good because he's not a zone guy. He's a man-to-man guy. The Lions, I don't know how they don't see this as an issue. And honestly, they must not want to win a Super Bowl, honestly, because teams that have no defense, they usually get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs. Look at last year. Yes, last year they had a bunch of injuries, but look at last year, their first playoff game. Yes, they had that week bye, but the divisional game, they got knocked out. No defense. So, yes, you could be a good team with a high firing offense like the Lions, but when it comes down to good teams, good teams like Kansas City or when you just make it to the playoffs and you play nothing but good teams, you're probably going to lose because say your offense is firing on all cylinders, that's cool, but it's only a matter of time before the opposing team makes the right adjustments to shut your offense down. And that's what happened last night. Kansas City stopped, I think, the Lions offense 2 times. That's all they needed to do because the Lions defense can't get a stop. When you're playing against a team like that, all you have to do is just get one stop on their offense and you win the game because you know that their defense isn't going to stop you. And I think the Lions only got one stop last night, which is just bad. And like I previously said, yes, I know they had a bunch of injuries, but that's no excuse. Next man up. This is the National Football League, playing football at the highest level. A backup should be able to cover a guy. You know, say the backup isn't any good. Cut him. Why do you have a backup that isn't good? That's what backups are for times like this when guys go down. So them having a lot of injuries, like I don't play that. I don't believe in that excuse because in my mind, next man up. You're in the NFL. The next guy up should be able to play. Obviously, you're not going to play as good as the starters because they're obviously not a starter, but they should at least be able to cover. And you know, it's just crazy, man. But yeah, that's like, bro, the Lions need to do something with the defense, man. They need a whole new defensive coach. They need a whole new defensive scheme because, I mean, look at the Jets. Look at Aaron Glenn and the Jets. 0-7. No, 0-6. 0-6 after yesterday's game. I'm recording this on Monday. Y'all going to see this Tuesday. But yeah, look at the Jets. 0-6. Can't get a stop. Don't know what they're doing. All they do is play zone. And then look at Sauce Gardner's decline. Sauce Gardner is a man-to-man corner, but all Glenn runs is zone. And you're slowly seeing Sauce Gardner's production drop because he's not a zone guy. He's a man-to-man guy, just like Reed. You know, a man-to-man corner going into a zone defense is not going to play good. You know, so it's just stupidity in my opinion. But hey, they need to address this because I don't know if people. So a lot of people are fine with it as Lions fans. I'm not. I just think a lot of people are just happy that the Lions are a good team. Well, yes, they're a good team. They've been a good team. What, 3? This will be their 4th season now. Say they don't fall off a cliff. This will be their 4th season being good. Okay, but you have the talent. You have the right guys to go all the way. Why not want to go all the way? And to go all the way, you need a defense. You need a defense to go all the way. Say you don't have a defense, you're not going to make it. Say you don't have a defense, you'll be a good team, like I previously said, but you're not going to win anything big. That's what I'm saying. You know, like, I mean, look at Baltimore. Baltimore has no defense right now. And especially without Lamar, they have no offense. The Ravens are cooked. They might end up cleaning house. Say you don't have a defense, you're not going to win important games. You're not going to win games against good teams, well-coached teams like Kansas City. Well-coached team, man. Say you've been to the Super Bowl as many times as they have, won as many Super Bowls as they have. You kind of, I don't know, memorize the craft. Like, that's just how it is. And then look at their defensive coordinator at KC. You know, good, like he's a good dude. I can't think of his name, but I know him, though. He's a good dude. The Lions need to address this issue either during this season or the off season. But that's the issue. That's the one issue I have with Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes doesn't like to go out and get someone brand new. Brad Holmes always likes to try to promote in-house, which is annoying because that defense ain't good. You know, all it is zone, and guys are wide open all the time. You know, look at how many 3rd and longs that the Lions have given up in the last 2 years. You know, just look at all the 3rd and longs. Look at all the 300+ passing yard games they've given up in the last 2 years. Like, just look at the numbers and say you're a Lions fan like me and just watch the Lions. You see it every week, you know, just giving up big pass plays after pass plays to guys that are just wide open down the field. Especially last night. Like, I mean, KC only has Kelsey, Hollywood Brown, and Worthy sometimes pops off with a big play down the field. But the two main guys are Kelsey and Brown. Why are those two guys wide open? And like I said, I don't want to hear injuries. No, next man up. And, you know, I don't blame the guys. I blame the scheme. They were talking about it last night, talking about how they drop back into a deep zone and then everyone under the zone is wide open. Like, why are you running zone? I don't get that, you know? I don't get it. But, yeah, I don't know how you have Kelsey and Hollywood Brown wide open pretty much the whole game. It makes no sense to me, you know? And in my opinion, man, like I said, you need a new defensive coordinator. You need a new defensive scheme if you want to make it far and beat good teams, you know. But, hey, I'll say this. Like I said, the offense is good. I remember people panicking about the offense after the first game. They just needed to get in sync. And then they were talking about, oh, Ben Johnson left. Well, originally, the coach they have now, the OC they have now, he was there, I think, Dan Campbell's first season and helped develop the offense. So it's pretty much his offense, at the end of the day. So like I said, the offense has nothing to worry about. It's just the defense, man. Like, I mean, say the Lions could have got 3 to 4 stops, or not even that many. Say the Lions could have got like 2 to 3 stops, the Lions probably had a chance to at least come back and make it a closer game, if not win the game. But if you don't have a defense, you're not going to be able to do that. And like I said, Kansas City made the right adjustments to stop the Lions. I think they stopped the Lions twice. So that's literally all they needed to do to take the lead even more. And like I said, the Lions defense just can't stop nobody, man. Just wide open guys. Like, bro, if I know Kelsey and Hollywood Brown are his 2 targets, I'm manning them up. Put 2 guys on them or something. Like why are you playing a zone that they can just find creases in and find gaps in to be wide open? It makes no sense to me, man. But no, hey, this isn't a bash on the Lions. Like I said, I'm a Lions fan. I'm just bashing on the defense because it's the same issue every year, and it's like they're not addressing it. I thought they were going to actually address it with Aaron Glenn leaving. Come to find out, they end up just promoting in-house, which is the same thing. At that point, might as well have kept Aaron Glenn, but hey, it's just unfortunate, but they need to address it. They need a new defensive coach next year. That's all I'm saying, man. A coach that has a different defensive mind, a different defensive scheme. They just need somebody else. Like I said, Cleveland Brown. Well, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't, because Cleveland is just a dumpster fire. They're just bad and very badly managed. So I don't know if they're gonna do it. But say the Cleveland Browns do clean house next year, hey, go out and get Jim Sorts, man. Go out and get Jim Sorts. The defense he runs is man. And then look at Cleveland. It's unfortunate. So Cleveland is the opposite of the Lions. Cleveland has a good defense, but no offense. So say Cleveland had an offense, Cleveland would be a very dangerous team. But that's all I gotta say. That's my little Lions rant about the game. But yeah, this was not a good weekend for your boy. Pretty much all the teams lost, but it is what it is. There's always next weekend, so we'll just go from there. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed the vid, a like and subscribe would be appreciated. And if you want to check out any vids that pop up here on screen, that would also be appreciated. And I'll catch y'all later. Peace.